Hello, everybody, and welcome to Clueless Company. I'm Chris.
I'm Isabella.
I'm Steven.
I'm Gerardo.
How are you guys doing today?
Chilling. It's not so hot, so
Yeah,
I'm not sweating my ass off right now.
that's
It's
good.
a
Yeah.
nice day.
Just kind of felt like a low-key week. I don't know, I feel like there was not that much to do. So, I don't know. It's kind of nice to have like a overcast Saturday.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you had a lot of studying to do most of this week anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll jump into some of the stuff. There won't be a ton to do. We'll start, since we ended last time with things about us, we'll start with it too. Do you guys have like a favorite kids TV show you had growing up that stands out?
Shaolin Showdown.
Oh, that's a
a good
great
one.
one.
I love that one. That was the one with the little monk kid.
You turn into a dragon?
No, that's
a different one, right?
Jake Long, American
That's-
Dragon.
It's also a great one. But yeah, Shaolin Showdown, they had the special little, they were martial arts themed, and they had special little items. I can't remember what they were called.
They
Little
did have
artifacts.
a dragon though.
Yeah. With little artifacts gave them special powers, or do special, or, little things.
Okay. I vaguely remember that one.
Yeah, it was like, it was kind of like, Pokemon was like Ash versus the Team Rocket, I guess. This was a more intense version of that, but it was all martial arts.
And the enemy's name was like Jack?
Yeah, something like that.
Jack Splicer.
Oh, yeah, that was the flying around dude who was always
Yeah.
trying to revive the spirit thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, those 4 kids and the old monk dude. Yeah. Love that show.
That's a great one.
I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of shows, especially that on YouTube I like watch kind of like behind the scenes or like what happened to the show. But I guess like one show that like sticks out to me is Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, just because of the concept of having an imaginary friend, and then once you outgrow them, they go to this like foster home, this foster care system.
Well, they had such crazy characters.
And I just remember in like a magazine, there was like a competition to like draw the next like imaginary friend, and I entered the contest. I did not win.
Oh.
So
Yeah, that was one of my favorites, probably. I mean, I think my favorite was Chalk Zone. I love Chalk Zone.
Chalk Zone. I forgot about that one.
Chalk Zone's great. Did you ever watch Chalk Zone? Oh, Chalk Zone, because that's not very descriptive. Although it is, if you know the show, is this kid who gets a magic piece of chalk, and he ends up being able to like draw on a chalkboard in class or whatever, wherever he is, and he can go into the world, and it's like Chalk Zone. He can draw stuff there, and he'd be kind of like, he's almost like a little god in there, to be honest. He can kind of draw whatever he wants, but it's like all his adventures and crap. Like constantly escaping in there. It's really good. I love that show.
Yeah, that was a good one.
it's like that childhood or like child storybook. I don't remember what it's called, but it's this little kid that has like a purple crayon, and he can kind of like draw anything, and then just kind of comes to life. But in Chalk Zone, it has to be like in the world, obviously. But I just remember like the chalk had like sparkles on it to like show it was like the magic chalk.
Done.
I think there was like one episode where like he loses his piece of chalk in the whole like pile of like pieces of chalk, and then he had to like find it and be like, "Is this the magic chalk?" To get out.
Jesus.
What about you, Gerardo?
I remember watching Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot. And there was this one, like Looney Tunes one, where they had like powers. I don't know the name of it.
Looney Tunes, they had powers. Oh, were they
They're
wearing
like-
like costumes and stuff? Or
Yeah.
I remember, I know the Daffy Duck image. It's the only one I have in my
There was
head.
the Roadrunner, and then I don't know. They all had different powers. But I remember that one.
I love, the classic cartoons. Because there's like a bunch of them actually on YouTube. You can find like 2 to 3 hour length of like the classic cartoons.
Yeah.
I click those on every now and then. I do like those ones. I don't know. I haven't watched as many like animated shows since then, I feel like. Do you guys have any new favorite animated shows? I mean, you love Clone Wars, but that's ended, obviously. Do you guys have any favorite animated shows right now?
I mean, the only thing that comes to mind is Rick and Morty.
Oh,
Yeah.
So that's like,
good,
I just
yeah.
remember that from college and everyone talking about it. And then, you know, they come out with their seasons whenever.
Have you ever seen their other show, Solar Opposites?
No, I've heard about it though.
It's the same voice actors and everything. And it's pretty funny, but the part I like the most is, so one of the alien, the daughter, or the son, one of them.
A child.
Yeah, one of the alien child. They have the shrink gun, and anyone who annoys them, they shrink and put into like this wall
Prison thing? I think you told me about this,
Yeah, and the story that follows those tiny people is actually really interesting. And like that last episode of every season usually follows mainly just the tiny people.
Because you said they're normally like a side part.
Yeah.
It's just like a little thing. But yeah, it's its own storyline in itself, I mean, those creators probably write some of the weirdest stuff on TV right now.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it's on TV.
Yeah, I mean, the only like animated show that we just watched was just like What If. Other than that, a lot of it's like live action or YouTube.
Yeah.
For like animation.
I guess CGI is the new animation. And I mean, shoot, with how much The Mandalorian had added in, it's like when you see the before and after shots for what they did, I mean, that's borderline animated. There's like basically the only things real are the people, and even that, they're costumed to hell, so they don't look like themselves.
Yeah.
Or, because there's so many cutscenes, you can say Kingdom Hearts is a animated movie.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts, yeah, oh my god. It has like 20 hours of cinematics for like each game.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I think when we were looking up the DLC for Remind, for Kingdom Hearts 3, because I didn't beat Kingdom Hearts 3 yet and do that DLC or whatever, even that one had something like 8 or 9 hours of cinematics. Like, Square Enix loves cinematics.
Yeah, I mean, like, I haven't even, like, gone through Kingdom Hearts 3, because it's like, you play for, like, 5 minutes, and then you get, like, a 15-minute, like, cutscene. I'm like, I'm not playing the game. I like the story, but it's like, I want to play. That's why I got the game.
Yeah, and that one they even dumbed down the combat a lot of.
Yeah.
There's a lot of just, like, hit the little square button for you, I guess, or X for everyone else in the room for Xbox. And then it would just be like, oh, press the power button. And it would you would do some ultimate move and kill the room.
Yeah, it didn't draw me in as much as Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2.
Kingdom Hearts 2, I mean, that's like...
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 2, that's the game that I started out before Kingdom Hearts 1. My grandparents got me both the games, and back then with the PlayStation 2, I was like, oh, what's this game? I see Mickey Mouse on it, so sounds cool. But yeah, just the beginning with like Roxas, I had no idea what was going on, and then he just disappears or goes back into like Sora, and I'm like, oh, okay, that was fun.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most popular franchises that has a plot that almost no one understands.
Yeah.
No one gets that. Have you ever played Kingdom Hearts, Roto?
I've seen gameplay, but I've never actually played it myself.
Oh man, the premise of it is so easy. I mean, like just the different Disney worlds and stuff and franchises. But oh my god, the underlying plot of it, of like Heartless versus I don't even know. Nobodies, and then like the nobodies trying to collect enough hearts to become people again or something, and they wanted to go to Kingdom Hearts, and it's like people in people, and like Roxas is like the nobody of someone.
Organization 13.
Yeah, and there's the Organization 13, which you barely even understand what they're doing until basically Kingdom Hearts 3. Like,
I mean, I just think it was really ambitious to have like characters of Kingdom Hearts, and then you had like Final Fantasy, then you have like Disney.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know all the worlds for like the third game, but I just remember like the second game, there was like the Halloween town, you know, for like Nightmare Before Christmas, which was like really cool. And then like first game was mostly about like the princesses, so you got to go to all their worlds. And so yeah, I just feel like it's nice to like actually go into like a world and like interact with the characters. And some of the like original voice actors got to be in the game, so it kind of made it more authentic.
Yeah.
yeah.
And one of my favorite parts was just hoverboarding around Traverse Town.
Yeah. I mean, now, I was showing her, because once you get far enough Kingdom Hearts 3, it's like right at the end, like right before the last fight, basically, you get the ability to fly.
Oh,
so you can just like jump really high and just hold jump, and your guy just starts to coast, and you can just like fly around. It makes collecting shit really easy. So I have yet to get an Ultima weapon in a Kingdom Hearts game, like the like end thing you have to create, and so I really want to do that for at least one of the Kingdom Hearts, but it's annoying. So much like collection of like resources and building material and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. At least it's nice to have like that was one of the few movie games, even though there was not a lot of the plot of the movies necessarily in each world, but it was probably one of the best movie games that there is. I imagine.
Yeah.
It's like not, yeah, I can't think of any other good one. I mean, Spider-Man, but you know, that's its own game. They didn't really try to copy a movie, it doesn't seem like.
Yeah. More from the comics.
Well, so you guys watched What If 1, right?
I watched
the
both,
first
yeah.
one. Yeah. Just talk about the first one, 'cause someone didn't want to watch it. But the first one, yeah, was the Captain Carter.
Yeah.
Almost just said Captain America. Which shouldn't she just be like Captain England or something? Or like Captain Britain or Captain UK? Like, I don't know.
I mean, I guess it's just because.
Maybe they didn't
I
like
mean,
the
she
CUK.
wasn't. She wasn't Agent. Was she Agent Carter at that time, or I don't know what her role was.
Yeah, agent. She's an agent.
Okay, so I guess they just went along with it. Agent
Agent
Carter.
of what? Shield?
Shield.
Okay.
Agent Carter, or Captain.
I mean, it rings better, definitely.
Agent Carter?
Captain Carter.
Oh, Captain Carter?
CC.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's way better. It's closer to James Bond almost, where they could sound like she could sound cool when she drops in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that one was interesting. It didn't seem like they changed too much even about the hero, which doesn't. It seems like it's gonna be the premise for all of it. Like the powers are gonna stay relatively the same. Unless the
Right.
person has a really weird physical abnormality or something. But although she did get to use a sword, which was cool
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
for that end fight. But yeah, overall the fighting wasn't too crazy for that one. Although I did like the music changes. Which is a thing we said last time. Do you guys have favorite moments for that first episode? Stuff you really remember?
Just that end scene with this giant squid with that sword.
Oh god, yeah, we kept watching videos actually of what that little monster could be, and it was saying that there's like this group of interdimensional beings, you know, in between the time space or whatever in the portals that like kind of just eat worlds as fast as they can. And I was thinking it was like a deep cut little comic thing, and it is interesting that I guess they're using the What If series to do deep cuts also. Which is what I'm wondering, like, I wonder if if there's any, like, hidden Easter eggs still for that first one. So they're doing really deep cuts now. I mean, people said Fantastic Beasts was a deep cut, or like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But, like, this is getting deep cut as hell. Like, I've never, heard of any of these, like, off cuts of or Captain Carter and stuff.
Yeah.
I think I just liked the little comic relief lines from the Winter Soldier character. Like, you know, when the squid, he would say like, "Oh, who ordered the calamari?" He would just have all these like random lines. I just thought it was kind of fun. But
I really like the first Iron Man suit that Howard Stark made.
Oh, yeah.
the one that I say looks like the Iron Giant. Whenever I
does,
see
yeah.
it.
Yeah, like it was definitely meant to model the shitty one that he made in that first movie,
Yeah.
but like animated version of it, yeah, it's definitely just a smaller Iron Giant.
Yeah.
That was a good movie. That was a sad movie.
Iron Giant? Yeah. Oh god. Do you guys have any other favorite classic movies like that?
Land Before Time was sad. That was a good movie.
Littlefoot.
Poor little foot.
Poor little foot. Though.
I don't know.
For like animation.
Yeah.
Or
I
like,
mean, the first Pokemon movie is always gonna have a place in my heart.
Oh, the one where they like Ash freezes and stuff?
oh my
Yeah.
god, yeah, that
Yeah.
scene. I wish I saw it in theaters.
I
Did
did
you
see
you
that
guys
in theaters.
watch the remake on Netflix?
No.
It's
Didn't know it was there.
There's more CGI effects and stuff, so it looks a little bit more realistic.
Okay.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
It's intense. I didn't know they were even remaking a Pokemon thing.
Yeah, it's been on there for a while. I want to say like a year.
I mean, it's hard to keep
Damn.
up with like what they release on these streaming services,
Oh, yeah.
especially just like, oh, Last Chance, oh, it's gone. But then it's on like this other like service.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gosh. Yeah. I don't know. The What If... Anyway, so it was interesting 'cause when we talked for the What If episode 1, What If 2 hadn't come out, I don't think. So, I mean, it didn't really lead into it.
no.
Like, I don't want to talk too much about it for that, like, this one, but it seems like... Because there is supposed to be, and there's even supposed to be a second season, as we heard last time, but it's like... Yeah, I'm wondering how they're going to do it. It seems like they're being a little bit more cavalier than I thought with, like, the continuation for it. It seems like they'll have fun with, like, oh, no, we'll just introduce a new character whenever we want. It's like, it's not going to be like, oh, Captain Carter's back.
Yeah.
So, like, I liked that. Because I was a little worried when I found out that it was the like, T'Challa episode taking over for, whatever, like, the whole change. Star-Lord, yeah. I was wondering, was his, like, thing, was he just going to be, like, about to be Star-Lord, she was going to, like, pop out of a portal or something? Like, I was worried about that, so I like that they, like, gave him his own story. So it's just, like, and it's a fun one.
Yeah.
Like, I was telling Bella as we were watching it, it's like, this feels like one of those where it's like, you enjoy the ride. Like, there's not going to be huge things, you just enjoy this ride, it's going to be a really fun episode.
Yeah.
Let it be.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, it just felt non-dramatic, almost.
Yeah. I don't know what this next week's episode is going to be.
There was a couple of fun Easter eggs in there too for episode 2.
Oh, yeah?
Apparently, I heard there was an X-wing somewhere.
Oh, really? Oh, actually, one of the videos said they did. I think the guy said it appears to be an X-wing, but he didn't, like, call it out.
It was one of those things like, it could be,
Yeah,
could not be.
I think the video we watched, the guy wasn't sure if it was an X-wing or not.
Gotcha.
That's cool. I like that. That would be a cool throw-in.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't know what Disney's plan is when it comes to, like, the X-Men or, I guess, somewhat the multiverse. Because after WandaVision, everyone thinking that Quicksilver, the Evan Peters.
Yeah.
Oh,
Name.
yeah,
How, like,
WandaVision.
everyone thought he was going to be, like, Quicksilver, or people thought that, like, Mr. Fantastic was going to show up, and then they just didn't do that, and everyone's like, oh, okay. So.
Yeah. I don't know. This is weird. Yeah, because you don't hear that now in a weird way. Like, Marvel was getting to the point, where they're having people get too hyped for stuff. But now, because they're like, oh no, this is just the What If series, like, they've kind of, like, subdued that almost. It's like a cool-off period, but they still get to show you stuff and make money.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. Yeah, it's not like I'm sitting here now. Like, I don't know, you guys were worried about any of these? Like, the repercussions for any of these things? Technically, they could be happening now since we're in the multiverse.
I don't know, I'm just along for the ride. I don't really
Yeah.
think about it too much.
Yeah.
I don't really care.
So, like, for Loki or WandaVision, yeah, people were making YouTube video after YouTube video, and it was, like, crazy.
Yeah.
But now it's a lot more subdued, which is probably good for them.
Yeah.
It's cool. They need the cool-off period, probably.
Well, I feel like, especially with WandaVision, it was so long since, like, a new Marvel or MCU content, so I feel like people are just, like, overhyped about, like, what's gonna be, like, this, like, phase 4, because at that point, I think it was, only Spider-Man that's been out?
Yeah.
At the start of phase 4? It's been
think.
so long. Because we got nothing last year, and I think
Yeah, it was
Spider-Man was the
Mysterio.
end of...
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think the only thing we had was Spider-Man with the Mysterio movie. Yeah.
So I think that's why people were just kind of, like, overhyped.
Yeah.
When's the next movie? Is it Spider-Man? It's the
Shang-Chi.
the Seven Rings.
Yeah.
Right, I haven't seen that guy do the rounds. Right.
Eternal said it was November, and then there's the Hawkeye show that is in November, and then Spider-Man's December.
And then Doctor Strange at some point.
That's in March. That's next year. So, I mean, it's kind of exciting the direction that MCU is going.
Seems like they're getting more mystical. They're getting more fantastical almost. I don't know what the word is for it, but it's like, since we just did the Eternals trailer, it's like even like the glyph style magic they do and stuff. Like, it looks a lot more like not realistic. It's like they're going a bit more balls to the wall. It's like, no, we're just gonna CGI stuff and, like, we'll make it look really nice. Someone's just gonna, like, stare at the wall like the X-Men, but we're gonna make it look great.
Yeah.
Like,
And I think it also poses the question of, like, I guess, like, who's the most powerful, who's in charge? Because I feel like with Loki, it was, we thought it was a TVA, and then it was, I forget the guy's character at the end. Kang. And then for Eternals, it's like they've been there forever, and they have their people they came from, and I don't know.
What did you guys think of that explanation? Did you guys hear of why they didn't intervene with people?
They're ordered not to
Yeah.
intervene unless it's deviant.
By, like, the
The Celestials.
The Celestials, yeah, that's their name. Yeah, like the big dudes. And we've seen that guy multiple times.
Yeah.
That's like, I feel like the main one they want to show. There's one other one in there, that the Easter egg thing that we watched showed up, and the dude's like kind of a low, I don't know, lower, but like a sub dude of the main guy we keep seeing, who's like the judgment dude. He's like the one who actually like scans and analyzes stuff, and you see him in like the little clip pulling up, and like he's like galaxies are kind of funneling into between his hands. It's like analyzing them or some shit. I don't really know. So you get to see 2 Celestials. So we are getting to the point now of like the highest to the high ranking. Just, it can be really problematic. You know, it's like you don't want to show people what happens after you die type of thing. Like it can ruin a lot of the stakes.
Well, we've also seen another Celestial before, Ego.
Oh, God, yeah, he's creepy, man. Yeah. That was good, yeah. I keep seeing more and more clips about that now. I feel like it's becoming more and more relevant. People keep showing clips of him trying to spread his seed across the galaxy.
Yeah.
His children to stay alive.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. But for the longest time, no one could bear his children or whatever it is, so then yeah. Which is interesting. There's a cool cameo of that too, since it is, you know, it's T'Challa taking over Peter Quill. There's a cool little Easter egg for that with Ego at the end. That's kind of cool to see.
Yeah. Which will be interesting where that leads to.
I don't know, yeah, I wonder if it will lead to anything or if they'll just go to another dimension.
I mean, maybe they'll do like a bunch of characters and then at the end kind of bring them all together.
That's what I'm hoping for. Kind of the same with the endgame moment where they come through all the portals and they'll come through all the portals again. But this time it'll make a little bit more sense, I guess. Or they'll be used to it. I don't know.
Okay, did you watch it?
No, he didn't watch the second one. Which one did you like more than, Steven? Because we don't want to spoil too much
I like
stuff.
the second episode more.
You like the second one more?
Yeah.
I like the second one more.
Second one.
Second, yeah. The second one's really good. If I could describe it in one word, swag. Just for like the straight first like half of it or more, just swag.
Because there was just a lot more moments that like surprised me, and you know,
It without spoiling too much, it was like, how successful can we make Starkiller be?
yeah,
It was like
Star-Lord.
Star-Lord, sorry, yeah, Starkiller's Star Wars. It was like how successful can we make that character be in this dimension?
Yeah,
While still having a story, obviously there's still, you know, his enemies facing and everything like that. But it's like, God, yeah, it makes him look so damn good.
yeah.
Like, you should watch it. It's funny. There's funny moments with like Thanos. There's so much stuff in this one. There's so many cameos of people. Like,
Yeah.
this is like a really good episode. I don't know. Do you guys know who's next?
No. I know I read it before where it said like what the first 3 are, but I forgot. It was just like when I was scrolling on Instagram.
Yeah, I didn't look it up.
Let's take a look.
So I'd be interested to see, because so far it's gotten better. And if they're having that much fun with just like T'Challa changing to a position, I don't know if it's in the comics, if that's like a big series that people really loved or whatever, if that's a brand new idea they had, but if they're having that much fun with him doing that one. And I hear T'Challa's voice actor,
Chadwick
Boseman, thank you.
May you rest in peace.
Yeah, he's doing, I think he voiced 4 episodes. Like, that was one of the behind-the-scenes things. Like, he had 4 episodes before, like, because he was the first one to sign on, because he just really wanted to do projects and get Black Panther out there. So he has 4 fully voiced episodes from him. Mm-hmm. Which I didn't know. I thought it was cut together. So I thought the one, like, this one they're doing was a cut-together version of it, and it's not. It's just him doing the voice acting. Which is nice.
And episode 3 is Loki.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I wonder when they're going to choose when that in his life it's going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think it's like, I'm also just like thinking because with all these like switcheroo what if characters, like what merch Disney's gonna like put out, or
True.
or like for the costumes, you know, like I feel like T'Challa's Star-Lord is very easy to like do.
Oh, I would pay for like a tree spread out timeline little map or whatever as like a wall
That would
art
be
piece.
cool.
That'd be cool.
I feel like, I don't know, there's a lot.
I don't think Disney will do that, but I think the fans will.
Yeah,
They'll be on
fans probably
Etsy.
will. Yeah, they'll be on Etsy soon, yeah. Yeah. I mean, God, there's a lot of fucking stuff you can do with this What If series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Charlie, yeah, it was really good. Yeah, you need to watch it. Sad you didn't.
And I like the colors in like the episode a lot more than the first one. I don't know. I just felt like it was like. I mean, maybe it's because it's like the time period. It felt very muted from what I remember from like the first episode, and this one's just like very fun. All different colors.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a little more fast paced and stuff. But I liked it. Can I ask a little question? This is somewhat of a fun fact, I guess, and you're talking about colors. So there's a connection between, in A Bug's Life, the caterpillar and Gollum.
What?
Yeah. So when they were first making that little caterpillar dude, they didn't know how to make like a fat, squidgy little bug caterpillar thing, and they needed it to move around. So the problem they had with it was they used this triangle format, like they used to do for old games and stuff, and it couldn't move it at a fine thing that they needed, so they created a system program called subdivision to do it, and it's what created the possibilities for more and more complex movement in all the CGI and active, like, rendered stuff that everyone does. It's all because Pixar and, well, Disney, whoever made it at the time, I can't remember who made Bug's Life.
I think it's Pixar.
Pixar at the time just created this like subdivision system to take whatever shape you want to use, whatever polygon shape, and then like on the 3D like dimensional shape, and then reduce it and multiply it by like 1,000 times so you can get it to actually move and texture how you want. And it's like this whole system that's just like avidly used now.
Oh.
And that's what made possible Gollum in the end, for him to be so textured well and actually have the skin that he does and move and like have a real human sit there and then have something mapped onto it and actually match, was because they did the subdivision techniques that went all the way back to that fucking little caterpillar.
Damn.
Jeez.
More you know.
Yeah, it's fun little visual effects stuff. Keep learning that now. Let's see. I mean, we talked about Eternals a little bit. Did you guys like the look of it? Did you guys like the commercial?
It'll definitely be interesting.
Yeah. I liked it.
Like, did it get you interested? Because, yeah, some commercials, you know, some ads aren't really the best, or trailers or whatever aren't really the best at doing it.
I mean, one dude reminded me of Superman too much, and the other chick reminded me of Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
The laser eyes.
No, I don't know which one came first in the comics, you know, but
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, and who? It's Angelina Jolie. She kind of reminds me of the Wonder Woman. I don't know if that's who you reminded me of the Wonder Woman, but
I don't remember who it was.
the super bleached blonde one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Angelina Jolie's playing that one. Yeah, she definitely looks. Yeah, I don't know. And there's even a part where I guess she has like this love interest with one of the deviants, which in the comics at least. And that's why people in our little Easter egg thing were talking like maybe that's part where like the dude is like strangling her and bringing her up and be like, you can't save any of them, instead of just like wrecking her and murdering her right there. It's like, oh, there might be like a love interest thing. It's like that part seems a little odd to me, but it also be weird because I want to know like, are other superheroes going to be in this?
I doubt it.
I don't think so.
Like the world's
Maybe
going
in
to
a
hell.
post-credit scene.
Yeah. Always. It's just like, how wouldn't they?
Right. Just
Well, it's like a
of
lot in the movies. You're like, how come they're the only ones in this movie? How come they're not crossing with other people?
yeah.
It's very clear. Each superhero has their own 5-mile block radius.
Well, at least in like Spider-Man: Far From Home, like they said, like where, like Thor was like off planet, or what is it? Captain Marvel, is that her name?
Yeah.
Captain Marvel was like away when like the Skrill, when they were posing as what's the guy's name?
Fury. Nick
Fury.
Fury?
When he was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
saying like, oh, like yeah, you have to be the one to like take care of whatever. I have not seen this movie in such a long time.
It's a lot to watch. And like it's, you know, some people like when Harry Potter was coming out, like the movies when that was way back when we were younger, like a decade ago, the people would rewatch like all the movies before going to see the newest movie. And it's like if you wanted to rewatch all of the Marvel series now
That's
before
hard.
the next one, it's like how? You would be just stuck in a room for like weeks.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know how you get caught up on it anymore.
I mean, I think it's still like crazy how much the MCU has grown since like Iron Man in 2008, and we were watching a video of the the actor change for what's the character's name? Don Cheadle's character.
Oh, Rhodey?
Yeah, how it was like
Yeah.
where it was like a different character or actor in like the first like Iron Man, and then they like changed it.
Oh, and yeah, we looked up. So the idea was when he came in, he just was an Emmy nomination or something, whatever the highest is, because they said it was like the highest something an actor can win. And he had just got a nomination, didn't win, he got a nomination, and he was charging around $8 million for a performance. They gave him that for the first one. Second one, they were supposed to like triple or like double at least what he made the first one, and they just really liked Robert Downey Jr. instead. So they came back to him and was like, okay, your parts are diminished. Dave Favreau and basically everyone who works on this cut a lot of your parts down in the first movie because they didn't like it, and they don't really want you a lot in this one. So there's not a lot of parts, so you can have $1 million. And he was like, fuck no, I'm not doing that. And so he just walked. He was like, I'm done. And then Don Cheadle comes in, and we saw the figure he makes at the end. After all the movies and parts he's done, Don Cheadle's made over $40 million doing all his parts.
I mean, it's crazy to think that, like, I forget the actor's name, but yeah, he made, like, what was it, $8 million for the first movie, and, like, Robert Downey Jr. made, like, $500,000 or something. Since at the time, this was, like, Robert Downey Jr.'s, like, comeback.
Yeah.
And, like, he made a great comeback.
Yeah.
And you also have the Hulk's changing.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was big, because that first movie was... All the acting was great in it, but yeah, I didn't really like it. It's like the plot and stuff, it just, it didn't mingle with the rest of the... It seemed like it would never mingle with the rest of, like, the world that Marvel was trying to build.
I don't even think I watched that movie.
Yeah,
I just know that it's a different actor before, whatever.
Well, there was 2 movies, I believe.
Oh, you're right, because he's in, like, the islandy area, or is it the same movie?
No, I think it was 2, because the second one was whatever his name was.
Yeah.
The
other actor.
I forgot what the villain's name was.
The military dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first one was
General White dude.
Yeah.
They're all the same.
Yeah. I don't know. I remember there was 2.
There were rumors he's supposed to come back, General White dude.
No, 2 Hulk movies.
With that actor.
Oh, yeah. You're talking about the one with the giant dog.
Yeah, the first one was a giant dog.
Yeah, that was with Eric Bana.
And the second one was
Edward Norton.
the guy that tried to make himself into a Hulk.
Oh, yeah.
The other military dude.
Yeah.
If even been
The other white
movie.
dude.
But yeah, I definitely remember that fight at the end. Yeah, the 2 Hulks and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean, I think they did a good job changing it.
Yeah.
I think all the actors were great in that first one, but unfortunately for them, the way it was shot, it wasn't the same like bright theme, like color balance and stuff. It just didn't mix.
I
Yeah.
feel like superhero movies have come a long way in, I was just say, our lifetime. But
Yeah, when people comment, it's weird. Like, it surprises me when some of the people who are older on the internet comment things like, oh, we were surprised people would like Iron Man, or like, oh, we didn't think people would want like the Hulk, like who knew that these people were around, because like to them it was like a nerdy thing to like comic books.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like weird because it's like in the animated universe, like there was like so many superhero stuff out there. So it was like there was Batman, Superman, there was like X-Men,
The whole Justice League.
yeah, the whole Justice League. So it's like there was a market. I think it was just like, do you have the like technology to like have that on the big screen, I guess.
Well, I'm sure if you went back and looked, I think the difference was a huge jump of like Pokemon versus like, I don't want to say a real full movie, but it's like Pokemon made it on the big screen and it was a great movie to watch aside. You got a little pack of cards too. I love that. And like, but you know, it's not like James Bond on there, and they turned superhero movies from a Pokemon that was on the big screen to like, oh, look at an animated, or like maybe we'll do one real person or look really shitty, to like, it's like James Bond where it's like real stakes. You're looking at people riding trains and shit over icy mountains, and you're worried about like, oh, that guy just fell off, and like freaking for Captain America, what was his friend with the dude with the arm? Bucky, like when he falls off the train and you see like the origin for him and stuff, and it's like, oh my god, you get all sad. It's like, it has real stakes, and it's like, that's an impressive transformation, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I wouldn't have guessed that, I guess. Like, I don't know, when Evan was in elementary school, were you running around trying to see like a superhero movie?
I mean, I always watched the cartoons when
I was watching the cartoons and I read some of the comics. So
I just don't really remember, them coming out in theaters often.
Yeah, I mean, so it's like we had the Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2002 or 3, and it's like I don't remember when like Batman Begins was, but that was like the only movies I could think of that I was like into. But I mean, I was just hyped for Harry Potter, so
Oh yeah.
so I mean, I feel like that's what like maybe our like generation was, because that's when it was coming out, and that was like the new thing, and it was like a new like series compared to like the comic books as since like the 30s or whatever the other nerds or whoever was reading.
Yeah. And I stood in line, for like midnight for Harry Potter. I think it was like one of the last Harry Potter movies. Oh no, it was Half-Blood Prince. Because I actually distinctly remember I went with all the family and stuff and other super nerds for Harry Potter. And at the end, everyone put their wand up and like had it in the sky and stuff.
Oh my
and then like the
God.
next day, like the next week, I went with all of you guys and we got like the front row seat. And immediately at the end, when Dumbledore was flying off, it was like a sad moment when it was the midnight premiere and everyone was like crying in there and stuff. It was just, you guys were like, "For the queen," so you guys like yelled shit. Like, they held their wand up, you guys held your cups up, you're like, "For Dumbledore." You were like saying stuff like, oh my god, like 2 different worlds for this movie. Have you guys done like a midnight premiere for anything?
A couple in the past. I don't remember what though.
That's sad.
I think I've only done one real midnight premiere, and that was for the last Harry Potter movie. And I think for the Goblet of Fire, the 4th one, it was like a 10 o'clock premiere. So, but I don't know. Do they even have like? I feel like everything's always like the day before now.
Yeah, midnight premieres now start at like 10 p.m.
Yeah,
Earlier
so,
sometimes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like I think I watched the episode 7 of Star Wars like on like the day it came out, but it wasn't like a midnight premiere. I just remember the long lines. That was like the last time I remember like a super high rated movie coming out.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the only one I ever stood in line for.
It's just been so long since I've gone to like movies and stuff.
Yeah, the last one that we went to was I think Spider-Man at the Spectrum.
Oh, last
Far-
movie.
Yeah, the last
I was
movie.
thinking midnight. I was like, that was not
No, just
midnight.
movie.
No, near midnight. Yeah, that was great too.
That was fun.
Spider-Verse is great movie. We were watching some of the fun facts on that one. That were super cool. Like they ran some of the different heroes at like different speeds. Like the animation, I guess it's like 12 per second, like 12 pictures or whatever. And now people do 24 if you want, and they made all the older, better Spider people in it at like the 24 frames. And then they put the young, new Miles one at 12. So when he's swinging, he looks clunky. He looks like he's like hitting stuff more. It's because he's actually like stop framing almost. They did a lot of smart little techniques like that. That movie was like flawless. I don't know. We just watched Sandlot. That was the last movie we just watched.
No, we watched Heavyweights.
Oh, last we did watch Heavyweights. Oh, that's a bit more deep cut. Have you guys watched Heavyweights before?
I never even heard of it until like he was like, "Yeah, it's like my family's like favorite movie." And I was
It's
like,
so quotable. I am Lars, and I am your new friend and counselor.
it's just so interesting to think that
Fucking accents everywhere.
like a movie like that couldn't be maybe done today. I would have to be like really like I don't know.
It has a good message. It has one moment in it that would have to be taken out. It has a good message. The idea is the kids go to a camp for fat kids, but really it's a camp where they go and have fun normally. Ben Stiller comes in as a main villain and new person and like new owner of it and turns it into like no one's allowed to eat. Everyone's running like 20 miles, like this hell place.
Yeah.
And and by the end of it though, it's like a good story of like, oh, it doesn't matter, if you're fat or big or whatever, just be happy and shit. It's kind of like a story like that. But there's one scene at a dance one where they accusing on girls talking, and she's like, why can't they all just lose some weight or something? And then the other girl goes, why don't you just teach them to throw up like you do? And then she's like, shut up, Vicky, and it's like a casual kind of moment, and you're like, whoo! It's like if this hits media, like, they're gonna have to tune that part out. Like,
I think the last movie I watched was the new one, Free Guy. That was pretty good. It's funny.
Was it?
Yeah.
what is that about? I keep just seeing
Isn't that a
Free
video
Guy.
game guy?
Yeah, so Ryan Reynolds is an NPC in this game, and
But it's
he
real
gains.
world. This isn't CGI, right? It's just
What do you mean?
like it's not a digital version of him in a game. Like he's walking around the real life world, and it's like a game
Yeah.
in air quotes, I guess.
Yeah, and he gains sentience.
Okay.
It becomes like a more advanced AI and breaks out of his NPC position and puts on these sunglasses that the players wear and becomes a player himself.
Okay, so it's like gamer, but
Similar, yeah.
more lighthearted.
Yeah.
I hope.
There's some funny moments, especially since Disney acquired Fox,
Oh yeah.
that they've added in.
Of course.
Oh, like stuff that's in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, got you, like cameos and shit. Is it like Ready Player One?
Not
You can do a lot of that if they're in like a digital world thing, but
kind of, yeah.
well, just with the cameos, not necessarily
Oh,
the
yeah,
plot.
the cameos, yeah. And then, the whole plot's like the guy who made the game wants to cut it down to build a new version and them trying to save the game, yeah.
Yeah, I got you.
But it's funny, yeah.
Interesting.
Is the YouTuber Jacksepticeye in it?
Yes.
I thought I saw
Ninja's
it on
in it
Twitter.
too.
Oh really?
There's a bunch of streamers actually in it as cameos too.
Man, I was reading this little thing on Ninja actually. I don't really ever look at streamers at all, but he was talking about his eye problems and like because he's sitting streaming all day, and I guess like as a kid he had a problem or something. But he had his eye like detached, part of like the cornea in the back and the left one. He's been like losing sight on it for a while.
Oh jeez.
And he just like commented casually in a stream, and it like freaked a bunch of his like viewers out and stuff. And he was sitting there and like he was like, having a little trouble seeing. He was playing, and someone commented like, "Oh, how's the left eye?" Because he just had all the surgeries on it to try and like reattach it and have all these blings. And he was like, "It's fine, it's whatever. I can barely see out anyways. It doesn't matter." And he was just like keep going, and everyone's like, "What the fuck?" It's like you're 50% blind, then man. What are you doing? So you should be worried about that. It's like, I'm not surprised when the streamer's like 3 inches away from a screen for
Yeah.
13 to 14 hours a day.
Yeah.
I mean, my eyes are bad. I'm trying to like just take breaks from like just like studying or just like being on the computer. Because, you know, I'm still young.
Yeah.
Still need to see.
You know, gotta slow it down. You don't want your eye, you don't want to go blind at like the age of 55.
Yeah.
It's like we're gonna see some terrible eye problems. I'm already sure of it for our generation.
And my eyesight's got a little worse, but still fine.
That's good. My eyes are terrible. My eyes are fast degrading.
I mean, my eyes are worse and worse though.
Yeah, you literally can't see without
I
glasses.
literally cannot. Yeah. So my like lenses are like really thick, and I have stigmatism, so I need like special like glasses.
Gotcha.
But
Man, I don't know. You didn't even see Sandlot, have you? We found that out last time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was her first time watching that Heavyweights movie. Yeah, I just showed her because it was so important to the family, but
it was on Disney Plus, you know.
that too. It was also free.
Oh,
Yeah.
free.
Yeah, free in the way that, I mean, if I paid for the amount of movies we watched already, I would have paid more, so.
Yeah.
It's
Disney.
made its money back. Like when you get an amusement park ticket or something, you know.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about the new Disney tickets?
I mean, they're cheaper, which is nice. But, yeah, I don't want to make reservations and whatnot. The fast passes cost money now, too.
Yeah, like $20 for the day per person or something like that?
Yeah,
like 12, something like that?
15, 20.
Something like that.
I think
just-
it's crazy.
And it's kind of dumb that you only get parking at the highest level now.
Yeah, what do you, like, why? What's the point of
You
it?
get like 50% off on the second
yeah,
highest.
like you don't even get a lot off.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know if it's doable for locals. Like I was telling her, like, it seems like we were watching this little old history for California Adventures back when they were doing, like, we're going to build this new place. And it's like they built it because most of the people that came to Disneyland rather than Disney World were, like, local California people. So they wanted to sell it to them. And it's like, now, man, it's like all the locals just like to walk in. It's like, now if you have to reserve shit, it's like, I don't know how that's going to go.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember like the old California Adventure? With all like the rides and like the decorations and stuff, like Paradise Pier.
Yeah.
And, like all that. I think like when we were watching that video, I think like the dumbest thing was like they had the sun, but whoever like created it didn't remember that the sun rises from east to west.
Oh, yeah,
And
this is
so
so
it
funny.
was like it was supposed to shine, so you have like rays throughout like the whole like day, but it was always behind it.
Yeah, but the entirety of the golden hour, the sun would just jam it, and it would just sparkle everywhere. But they put it on the wrong side, so then they put all these mirrors up all around like a lot of the light poles and stuff to get as much sun to bounce onto it as they could to still reflect it.
Oh god.
I don't even know where that is. Is that still there?
No, it's not there. I mean, like, now, like, California Adventure, like, it still has, like, elements from the original, like, park, but it's like, you have, like, Marvel Campus, you have, like, Pixar Pier. I like Cars Land. I think that's California Adventure, right? Yeah, okay. Just making sure. But, I mean, just, like, it was a weird, like, idea. And plus they had, like, all these ideas, and then they had to cut a lot of them.
And we kept joking that was the theme of the entire history for California Adventures, was they had these great plans, but they cut it back. It's like over and over again, they talked about, like, they wanted this huge California Adventure. They were, like, the first showed off, like, this big, like, half crescent thing. They had all was, like, roofed off, and this huge angular, like, spire in the middle. Think, like, the Crystal Church, the Crystal Cathedral, whatever. This huge one in the middle, and they got shot down by all the people around the city going, fuck no. Like, you already shine fireworks every goddamn night. Like, we don't want a huge pillar anywhere. And so they kept scaling it back and scaling it back and scaling it back. And then they thought they couldn't afford all the stuff they wanted to do. So then it's just scaled back more. Like, part of it, even the gas station that's outside Soaring, California, was a plane hangar for something else. And it just didn't work out. And they, like, couldn't turn it into anything because they didn't have the money. So then they just, like, cut open more areas and turned it into a gas station, which is then a merchandise store. It's like so much of California Adventures is just like parts that were going to be something huge, but that's all they got. So then they turned that into the ride. Like,
just like at one point they wanted like this park to be in Burbank to kind of have more of like a Hollywood kind of theme. And I mean, when you look at like how much land like Disneyland is compared to like Disney World, it's like, yeah, people want to go to Disney World. There's more stuff to do. That's why the locals kind of go to Disneyland. And then they thought, well, if you're visiting Disneyland, you're going to see all different parts of California. So why don't we just have a theme park just based on California? So
they got like the Diana ride, or what's called the Diana ride, even though it's not. They were going to have this whole thing, kind of almost an immersive thing, like the Star Wars that we did. That really cool Star Wars you're in, that you get captured. But it was going to be paparazzi chasing you, because it's Hollywood. But then right when they were basically building it and had the idea and stuff, was right when Diana died from getting chased by paparazzi. So then they were like, we can't do that anymore. So then it became like the cabbie chase thing.
It was the limo superstar ride. I don't know if you guys rode that. It was awful. But, I mean, now it's the Monsters, Inc. ride.
Gotcha.
And they use, like, the same, like, animatronics. They just put, like, the yellow dudes, like, just over it.
Yeah.
So they did the same motion.
Like, they wanted a complex, like, Goofy ride thing that kept getting scaled back over and over again. And it's like, now all you have is this little flight school that's, like, fucking crazy. It's like a kid's ride.
I mean, like, one thing they had was, like, something with, like, agriculture to, like, they were, like, growing things to, like, teach the kids. But, I mean, the comment was, like, you see that any, like, summer fair. And, you know, it's, like, for the OC fair that we went to, like, now it's, like, 2 years ago. But it's, like, oh, we actually grow this for, like, the community.
Yeah, and it would go into some of the food and things that they had there. But now they have Bugs Land. Remember, it's like that's what the Bugs Land area was the forest. That's why it just worked out. And we had a bunch of the trees and plants and shit there anyways. It was already themed for, like, bugs. So it was perfect.
Where they had, like, the wine tasting. Because it's like, it's like supposed to be like Napa, and they still have some restaurant tasting wine thing.
Yeah, they had a restaurant there at one point from like high-end restaurants. I don't think Wolfgang Puck might have been Disney World, but
no, that was
was it Disney World?
No, that was at California Adventure. It was the Ariel's Grove, like that restaurant before you go into like now Pixar's Pier, but
it was like a Michelin star restaurant by Wolfgang Puck.
It was like closed down within a couple months.
But no one went there because it's fucking expensive.
When you already paid to get in.
Yeah. So then he got annoyed and left because no one was coming to it. Instead, he's like, why am I spending time here? I have like 50 other restaurants to go manage. So then he dipped out. So then they just turned it into Ariel's.
Still never went to that restaurant because I think it was still expensive. But it was like one of the, I want to say it was one of the first like restaurants where you had like the characters walk through.
Gotcha.
So I heard they have really good drinks there, alcoholic drinks there.
Yeah. If they want to make more money, fucking actually open up that tower for the castle to public people. Just pay money.
Speaking of the restaurants, I really want to go to that one in Epcot that they're making that I sent earlier.
Oh, the space
station one?
Oh, yeah.
So cool.
I've seen stuff for that. It is, I don't know.
I mean, I just think it's just, I mean, like Disneyland will always be like the OG, you know, so Walt Disney's land. But it's like, just going on like YouTube and just seeing like what the Pirates of the Caribbean ride looks like for like Shanghai
Oh
Disney.
my god.
Yeah.
It's like that's what I want to see. I want to go to Shanghai Disney. Will I understand what's going on? No, but I can still enjoy the ride,
Right.
like, you know, foreign people do when they come see it.
You'll
here.
get the gist of it. I
Yeah.
mean, that's why they have the giant screens that are bigger than the ships.
I just
Yeah.
need my Google earbuds so I can translate it.
Oh, there you go. Just have your phone just sitting right there. I'll just be reading it. It would be great. Oh, God. Yeah. What is that new Star Wars? Is it a like a experience dinner? Like, do they rise you up? Like, does it feel like you're going up high?
I feel like they probably do. And then
Okay.
you're just in a space station. You can see the Earth out
Yeah,
the
'cause
windows
that's
and
the
stuff.
idea. That you're in space. Okay, so yeah, I don't understand that. That's got to be expensive as fuck for just a dining experience. Like,
Yeah. But it looks cool.
it does. But I don't know. That seems a little bit too much to me. Admittedly. Like, that seems like it's almost going towards Wolfgang Puck for the Aerial Growth Place again. Where it's like, if that's too much or it's like too rare, I don't know how much it'll make money.
Another thing that we saw, this was like in Disney World, was I guess there's this area called like Paradise Island.
Oh. Oh, was it Paradise Island? Or was it like Passion Island?
No, it was
Paradise? Everyone just made a lot of porn jokes. It was in
was
the
weird.
in the end. The idea was they made it sound like it was going to be a porn place, but the idea at the end was like it had clubs, like nightclubs, and you would go there and there'd be drinks and like shows. It was kind of like a little Vegas. It's
Yeah.
like, so they had like some shows where they come out like dancers and stuff. They'd be like Disney themed. But they would be in like the short shorts and stuff. That's all I saw for a second. And then like when it was cutting around, it was really weird and it just didn't work. And then it also pulled apparently a bunch of money away from another area of the
Yeah.
Disney World. So then that area started closing down and then they were competing with themselves after a while.
I mean, there was two like other kind of like dining kind of areas like next to it, but the Paradise Island you had to like pay to go in, so like people just wouldn't want to go in because it's like, well, I have like restaurants right here that I can just go in for free, and so but now like that whole area is the Disney Springs, and so I haven't been there in forever, but I just know that's where like a lot of like the pins are. That's where people pin collect. But it's just very interesting to hear some of Disney's like past projects. Like I know like at one point there was like nightclubs. Also at Paradise Island there was a lot of like criminal activity, right?
Yeah, they talked about because people were getting drinks and they would like wander around other areas of the park and they said they started finding everything from like condoms to needles. They arrested drug dealers that were in the area. So because it became this like a high little VIP club place, people were starting to move into the Disney World area, into that club place to sell drugs to people. So it's like, yeah, that's like one of the reasons they don't have alcohol in a lot of the areas, and apparently Disneyland World are strict with it, is because apparently Walt Disney or whoever was owner at the time was like furious that this was happening inside their parks, and like just started vowing that it wasn't happening again, and it was like the alcohol's fault and all this shit, and like Disney's history is funny. A lot of failed projects.
A lot of failed projects.
Mostly failed projects.
I mean, I still think it's interesting they had like the whatever teen nightclub like here in like Anaheim.
Oh yeah.
And then that was like had its ups and downs, like like same sex like couldn't dance with each other, and then they had same thing like gangs and like a bunch of criminal activity.
I mean, yeah, people just for California, that's not a big thing, but a decent thing in the LA for like under 21 clubs. Like people just try to mimic it.
I know in like college people want to go to like the like 18 plus clubs, but I don't know. I never went, but it never sounded fun.
Yeah, and a lot of them are ones that just allow you, so they have like a bartender in the back who actually keeps track of stuff, rather than just like a random waiter or waitress who's just like running around with alcohol. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Disney's little history was funny, I guess, to see.
I mean, I'm happy that California Adventure kind of like flows with Disney now. Now that they have Pixar and Marvel.
Yeah.
Like they have to acquire that. But
Well, they really gotta knock down that Hollywood-looking area. It's like at the back of it.
Yeah.
yeah.
So when we were there, I didn't understand. Like last time we all went, we were just walking around. I was like, I don't understand why this part of the thing's here. And then you just have to like turn right and go around. And, like then there's like Mater's area, and it like starts to be cars, but it's like not really cars yet. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I remember in that area was like the show to like and before it was just like Aladdin, just like whatever cast was performing at the time. But other than that, there really isn't anything there other than it kind of looks like walking down Hollywood. But then I don't know how far Disney is from like Hollywood, but it's like, why wouldn't I just drive all the way down there then?
Yeah. You can just be in it. You go see the stars.
Yeah.
You can go do whatever you want. Go hike to the sign. We live here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have gone to that. I don't know. What's your guys' favorite Disney movie?
That's tough.
Like, of all the Disney
Yep.
movies?
We're talking like including Marvel and Indiana and
Yeah,
Star
we talking
Wars.
about like pure Disney or like you talk about Pixar? Because like Pixar was its own thing before Disney.
Well, now that you're asking all these questions, yeah, it's just straight Disney animation.
All right. Tarzan.
Yeah.
Phil Collins music. Beautiful.
Even the artwork for that one was really good too.
Yeah.
Like them like going through the vines and stuff. It had to have been
Yeah.
so hard to animate the entire time and draw down.
The iconic scene with the age-old process with. That was dope.
Yeah.
I guess it's probably Mulan, just because like I remember I think it came out in '98, so yeah, around like when I was like a kid, I cut my hair like Mulan, had to get a haircut. Like my Chinese name is like Meilon, so I kind of like felt the little connection, and yeah, Mulan 1998, not 2020. I refuse to watch that.
Didn't even have the music.
What about you, Gerardo?
Lion King.
Damn, that's a really good one. No, I think he's popping in my head really enough with Lilo and Stitch, but that's like cartoon, not like.
I mean, that's still Disney.
It is.
It was just kind of like later.
I don't know. I did like Lilo and Stitch, the little world they created for that one. It's really interesting. Yeah.
They had a good franchise for Lilo and Stitch, like the movie and then like the show.
There were like 3 or 4 movies that like I feel like I never remember the names of. There was like Stitch and then Lilo and Stitch and then Leroy and then something and then there was like a there's
Leroy.
yeah there
The
was,
yellow
I
one?
don't even know there's a bunch of them and then the TV show is good at least it showed off all the other little experiments.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like when you think of like Disney back then versus like maybe now, I'm just thinking of like Mulan just because I just talked about it. It's just like the 1998, of course, it isn't like 100% accurate. You know, they kind of put some like Western kind of things in there. But I was like, they were more accurate than like the 2020 version when they were like trying to like have China like the movie. And
Yeah.
it still flopped there. And it's just like, it's very interesting because it's like it seemed like they did way more research back then, even though they claim to do way more research like now with like certain movies.
Never seems like they do. It seems like I can do better in a Google search. Never understand that.
Like I am happy they're trying to like branch out with like different like cultures.
Yeah.
Like, I really loved when we watched like Coco in theaters.
Yeah. Wait, I like they're not even just branching out. They're getting specific. They're not just going like like they're not just doing all islanders are this now or whatever. They're kind of diving into different groups and stuff, which is nice.
Although with like Raya and the Last Dragon, I don't know if you guys watched that.
I did.
I thought it was like kind of weird. They kind of just like combined all like the Southeast Asian.
Yeah.
Because I feel like
They
it
had
doesn't.
parts of Vietnam in there. And
It doesn't help that a lot of Americans just say all Asians are alike, and then you have a movie that everything is just like, you know.
Yeah, they could have
Intertwined.
done a way better job because they even did the whole thing of like the different groups going away, and it's like great, you can have that be the different like South Asian populations, but then they should have done a better job actually kind of giving them their own cultures and stuff. So it's just like, oh, this guy likes sharp weapons, this guy digs around in water or something. Like,
Yeah, and then they had like the certain like elements of like their costumes that like people are like, oh yeah, that's from like that culture. I'm like, okay, cool, but like to a regular person, they're not gonna know that. They're just gonna think Asian.
yeah.
Oh. Well, I'll change mine to a deeper cut actually, so I just saw it out of the corner of my eye. The Nightmare Before Christmas, which wasn't Disney under it, but it was actually rejected originally from Disney to be under their umbrella, so they put it under another film company that they owned. So it was under Disney actually. They just didn't want everyone to have the Disney name on it, admittedly.
Okay.
There's even one of the monsters at the end, or one of the little toys that comes to life the night before Christmas, and it chases people, is actually a demonized Tim Burton Mickey Mouse, which he was told not to put in there. The people were told not to put in any Mickey Mouse paraphernalia or Disney paraphernalia, but they just it just defied them anyways, and they put it in there. And the movie did well enough where Disney just didn't care, and people reacted really nicely to it. So Disney was like, "Oh yeah, that's ours. This is ours too. Look at our parks, all over the park. Halloween, love it."
Disney's so interesting. I know, like, before for, like, Back to the Future, like, they pitch it to Disney, and then they're like, dude, you have, like, incest in this. We can't produce this.
Yeah, they were pushing boundaries that probably should have been pushed there.
You know.
Yeah, that's fine. We can just end it there. That was good. It's been Clueless Company, episode 6, I think.
Yep.
You guys should like, comment, and subscribe, and have a great day.
Bye.